recording.
I guess since we did issue 1, we could present first.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Actually, I'll start by sharing. Here we go. So our task, as you guys know, was to display this list that we had here in the Firebase database onto the Smart Shopping List list page. And that is what we did. Right here, you can see them. They're being pulled in. If we go over to VS Code, can you guys see my VS Code, or am I only sharing the browser? I'll be sharing the browser. Let me change to VS Code just a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so in VS Code, you can see that in the list component, we did a map that allows us to map through the data and allows us to pull the names. We're using the item ID as the key, and then we're pulling the item.name from the database and displaying it right here on their unordered list. Sorry. I don't know if Tila, you want to add anything else to that, or that's pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, you covered it. Thanks, Christina.
All right, that's it then.
All right, who wants to go next?
And I go the task 2. Yeah, our task is replace A tags to nav link. So we change the file. First, we need to import a nav link from React Router DOM. And then at first they use a tag. I believe the A tag isn't working on React app, so we switch to nav link components to make the link works like this. Nav link to home, nav link list, nav add item, and then I run the browser. Yeah, now the link is working, and also nav link is showing the active page. Like you can see the bold underline. This is a function of nav link. Yeah, and we made a pull request on this. Thank you.
Looks great.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
I really like how Satoshi did his little presentation that he was showing the actual differences in Git. Is that how these typically go, or what approach should we be taking whenever we're sharing our work?
It'd be great to see the front end, right? We really visually see what's going on, but also the difference would be great. Yeah, I think Satoshi's way is great. Or you can just go over the VS Code what you did. That's also great too. Yeah, just like find your style. Find your style.
Thanks. I didn't know if there was one industry standard so thank you.
Yeah, whatever is easier for the audience to understand what's going on, that's great. Any comments, Alejandra and Daniel? What do you think?
I guess for me it's been, yeah, I agree with find your style. I agree with that, but let's see. So in my experience, it has been more like showing the browser, like I worked on enabling links for users. And I don't think I show code that often, but like it is a different setting, right? But it's most like I work on this story and this is the result. And yeah, but if you want to show code, I think that's fine.
Can you hear me now? Okay, good. Yeah, I think maybe here like the point is more just like kind of getting familiar with comfortable in front of sharing in front of an audience, because like once you get to that point of the interview, that can be really scary. So yeah, I think personally I tend to prefer more focus on the front end, like here's what I did, here's how it works. But yeah, definitely if you want to drill into the code, I would not be opposed to that.
Yeah, that's a great one. Like practice your technical language. Yeah, it's at the beginning that I definitely found it's really difficult to verbalize my thoughts process and at the same time like really know what I'm talking about. So it's a good practice.
And
Oh,
also
Daniel.
when you're on a team, like you will be with designers, like when you're in a demo with designers, with a product manager, like with people that are not technical. So if you go really deep into technical stuff, they would appreciate it. They will be like, I don't care about this. It's just show me what that is working. And so
Yeah, I didn't know if the purpose was to like kind of inform everyone on the process so that they understood the back end of it, or if it was just the result. So that was kind of maybe where my question is going.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Like know your audience. Mm-hmm. Any other
right,
questions?
so yeah, other questions? How was the pairing sessions? It was easy to schedule, like all good. Yeah. Right. Sounds great.
Cool, cool. Then I guess we're ready for our learning module then. Since we're talking about code review this week. Awesome, awesome. Let me share my screen. I have two monitors going on, so the setup's a little bit weird, so bear with me. Oh, can you see the slide? Sounds good. Thank you, thank you. So I think all of you have experience with code review, either through your previous group projects or the past week. Again, congratulations on your first PR. So today we'll share some best practices, how to approach code review when you're the one who reviews the code versus you're the one submit a PR. So here are some questions we're exploring today. What is a code review? The code review cycle? What makes a great code review? How can I help others review my code? How can I review others' code? What are some tricks to explore code in GitHub? What is a code review, first of all? Fundamentally, it's a conversation about a set of changes. It's a great way to share knowledge and learn from others. So for example, your first PR this week is a great way for you to understand the structure of the code base, how your teammates' styles of communication, and your teammates' approach to the code. Code review is a great way to learn from each other because you can access it publicly. Code review is a collaboration space where you share your work and ask questions. It helps you to improve as a developer, helps your team to decentralize knowledge, share responsibility, and improve overall code base quality. The code review cycle is pretty simple. Once you have your changes ready to be reviewed, you open the pull request. You will get some feedback, and based on that feedback, you will make some changes. So step 2 and step 3 are iterative like a process you will take probably the longest in the process. And once it's proved, and then you merge it into the code base. Now we're ready to talk about what makes a code review a great code review. Okay, now I'm curious, have you had any code review experience that just makes you cringe? No? Oh, really? Okay, just me then. One of the biggest thing that makes a code review not a great code review is focus too much on the stylistic changes. And those should really be the job of tools like Prettier, ESLint. You can see we have a few examples here. So in general, you can leave the small things like that. No need to add a bunch of comments in the code review. What's better to focus on is try out the feature locally or in a test environment. Try to make your code review easy to understand, so in the future, others can understand it. Also, since PR is public, if you see anything that teammates did is super impressive, please mention it so other teammates and the managers can see it. I think this is a great way to advocate for others. I highly recommend try out the feature locally or in a test environment. There might be some edge cases that they missed. If you remember, our PR template has a section for acceptance criteria, and this helps your teammates know what are the steps to test the code. And if you ever wonder how to test the code, just ask questions. It's a great way to learn from each other. Okay, now, how do you help others review your code? Add meaningful PR descriptions. So for your first PR, all of you did an awesome job writing a great PR description. If possible, write meaningful commit messages and try to divide them up into smaller steps, especially if you have a large task. Self-review your code, have a beginner's mind, try to explain what you did, why you did what you did, and ask questions. Yes, even if you're the one creating PR. Use screen capturing tools, especially if you have a large feature. I use Loom a lot. I think in a remote setting especially, it's really important to use these tools to communicate asynchronously with the team. Any questions so far? Anything you disagree? Other than I had a cringe experience that all of you didn't. Okay, cool. Moving on.
I've had bad experiences too. I'm there with you.
Okay. Cool. I'm not alone. Thank you.
And to be fair, I haven't had a lot of reviews, so
Okay.
I
You
don't know.
will know what I'm talking about. You will know. Okay, so let's explore code in GitHub. This is a trick, I actually learned this from the site actually. So you can navigate different commits. That would help you to see the progress of how your teammates writing code. I think it's super cool ways to really review code. There's also other ways to keep track of where you are. So when there are a lot of changes for different files, just making sure when you reviewed it, mark it reviewed, so you know where you are in the process. You can easily get lost, for sure. Awesome. So let's share your thoughts on really what you think about the learning module. Any questions regarding code review? Oops. And what has your experience in the past with code reviews? I'm especially curious about from that for the mentors, since you had more experience on that. And how did it feel to do code reviews this week? How do you feel like the template? Do you like the template? Do you feel this process is yeah, what do you think about this process? And how's it feel over the last week or in the previous experiences to have your code reviewed?
liked the template. Is that is that something that it follows a similar template for like PRs just kind of across the industry? I'm not sure if like companies usually have their own template or it's something that we can kind of apply across the board to other PR requests in the future.
Danielle, Alejandro, you will jump in? I have some experiences too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, to answer your question, I've seen a mix. Some companies do have like specific PR templates, others don't. I've also worked at places where we've had some issues with PRs not being like, standard or consistent. So a lot of times that actually drew the team to collectively decide that we wanted a PR template. So I've seen that process happen too. So yeah, kind of all over the place, really depends on the team from my experience.
Yeah, for me, it's been like Danielle's, honestly. Like most of the time there is a template, but if you're working, like, it depends. Like if you're working on a big project, right? For instance, I worked in my previous job, we had a monorepo and we had at least 3 teams working on it. And the thing is that our team, like we didn't use all the template that was there initially. So we always cut some pieces of it and we were okay with that. Like, as Daniel said, like you agree as team on what works for you and what not. So you're like, okay, we're not going to use, I don't know, this checklist because we had a checklist that says something like, it's something like, I swear that I tested this code. I swear, like it was kind of funny, but we were like, I don't like, I always deleted that and everyone else did the same. So we were like, we're not going to use that part. But I've been in other places where we didn't have any template and it's the worst. I think at least you need to have something really basic. So it's like description and I don't know, test plan or something. And what else? All right. So, and like each company is different. You will find many, many templates. You will find no template at all. And another thing that helps reviewing code, yeah, something that makes everything easier is having good commit messages, right? Because sometimes I've been in places where the commits are work in progress, whip, and done, fix, done. And when you review that, it is a mess. Like you don't know what's going on. So what I do for reviewing code most of the time, when we have a good like commit structure, is jumping commit by commit. And commits should be atomic, small, like with good like descriptions and like a good title and a good description, so like the thought process of the person that wrote the PR, right? So then you understand that better, because sometimes you have a 200-line PR. Sorry, my dogs are like barking in the background. Anyhow, so yeah, so like jump commit by commit, and that will help you make a better code review. If I jump in this commit, I leave a comment there, and when I finish, it's like, okay, that line doesn't exist anymore, and GitHub knows like that comment that you left 10 commits ago is no longer relevant, so it wouldn't show it, I think. So yeah, that was a lot. Sorry.
No, that was perfect. And you mentioned the list. And actually, since you mentioned the list, that was the one thing that I'm gonna pronounce your name wrong because I don't see it now. Tila and I kind of struggled with was the name of like picking which one. Was it really were we fixing a bug or was it a new feature? Like for example, with the change for, it wasn't ours, but on issue 2 with the change for the anchor to using the nav link. It was kind of like you were fixing a bug, but you were using a new element. So I did find the checklist less helpful. Not that that's maybe I was misinterpreting how exactly we should be using the checklist.
Yeah, I think from my experience, and like this may vary, so like definitely take this with a grain of salt, but most of the time when there's like a checklist, like people pay a lot of attention to it at first, and or like if they're new to the company, they'll pay a lot of attention. But like after a while, it'll just kind of be like, oh, I'm just going to check all this stuff off. Like it's like good intent, but sometimes I feel like it kind of turns into people just ignore it.
Hmm.
I have a question. Like you said, like run locally the pull request branch. So I'm not sure how to pull the pull request branch on my computer or locally. Can you show me how to do?
Yeah, so it's a git commit, I believe. So git pull your branch name, I believe.
Oh, like someone made the pull request on the repository, and then I like to test it as a reviewer.
Yeah. So git pull that branch down, right? No, doesn't
Oh,
matter. So whatever that branch is named, you can just pull that down.
oh, so once someone made a pull request, we can pull that branch.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't know.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
easy.
Once it's up there, it's already saved. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yep. Git is the more you learn Git, I feel like the more I don't know. Like there are just so many things that Git can do.
Oh yeah, because this week I didn't pull that pull request because it's
Okay.
obvious. Yeah, next time.
Yeah, that's perfect, right? This is something you learned, and then you can definitely practice more next time this week.
Yeah.
That's a
I have
great
a
question.
question that kind of builds off Satoshi's as well.
Mhm.
Since we have the GitHub Actions continuous integration added on our repo, I noticed that it gives you that little like preview link before the PR is even merged. So that's what Christina and I use to check the other team's
Hmm.
PRs. Instead of actually pulling that branch down, we just use that preview link. Is that still kind of considered okay and doing the same thing, or would it be better to actually pull that branch locally and test it that way, or is it kind of either or?
I remember I used preview before, but for some cases, maybe some edge cases, the preview missed. So I don't remember exactly what, but so which is why I started just to pull everything locally and see what's going on. Any oh, go ahead.
All right. So I guess the preview link works. I mean, it works, and that is what I would use as a default for like for my use case, right? But sometimes PRs are big. Like this PR, like of yours, is a small PR, right? But when you have a big one, it's likely that you don't, and it's fine, but you don't understand what's going on. You know, like in terms of code, like I don't understand 100% of all the lines here. So what you can do is you just pull it. You can use VS Code, or I think most of the IDEs have a GitHub integration, so you can just switch branches there and see the diff, and you can play around with the code. It's like, oh, I don't know what this function is doing, so I better, like navigate the code locally and maybe change something and see if it breaks. Like it's more like for learning purposes, and you put it. Well, at least me. It's like I trust the person that created it, but I want to understand better how it works. So, and I navigate the code easier in my local machine instead of GitHub is kind of weird. Navigating code is difficult. So I do that faster on my local machine. So when you see a bigger PR, it's likely that you will need to pull it and play with it. So you know that it's working. Yeah.
Gotcha, that makes sense. Thanks.
Go ahead, Ismary.
I had another quick question on like that same branch, no pun intended, where even after like the PR and let's say like after like the main merge, is there like an updated like preview link with like the main branch, or is it better just to pull any updates and just pull it up locally? So if let's say I just wanted to like see what it looked like just really quickly without having to pull from main, like, and then displaying it that way. Is there like an updated URL on the main branch?
I wonder if yeah, if you look at like the top of our TCL 64 chat, at the top there's something that says deployed project. I wonder, is that what you're looking
Oh,
for?
yeah, I think so. I guess I was looking for it on GitHub itself. But yeah, I guess that's what I was looking for. Thank you.
We should add that URL to the repo. That makes sense.
Use that link on your resume since it's already deployed.
I was going to mention too, this isn't like mandatory or anything, but just to give you all some ideas of how to write better comments in a code review. Some of you might have seen this before. I'll post a link in the chat. Conventional comments. Sometimes I use this. I kind of go in and out because sometimes I feel like, mostly only speaking for myself, it's like sometimes you don't like fully read, you just kind of more gloss. And like the idea is you put in like there's like a bunch of keywords, you know, like to do, issue, suggestion, nitpick, question, thought. You put that before you write the whole comment. So like if someone's just like kind of glossing through the review of their PR, then they can see real quick, like, hey, this comment's, you know, a nitpick. I'll get to this later. And I think the idea is you bold it if you can. But yeah, that's been kind of cool too. But to be honest with you, sometimes I forget about it. But just to kind of give you guys some other, or you all some other ideas. So.
That's great. Thanks, Danielle.
I didn't know that page. Thanks for sharing. All right, so I guess we're ready for issues, right? Unless we have any other questions. Okay, cool. So let me, first a question, where do you see the pairs for the week? Like they are assigned already, right?
Yeah, I
Find
believe
that.
it's also part of the link on the at the top, project brief. Is that project brief?
Ah.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Thanks. All right, so give me 1 sec. Let me share my screen. Let's see. Share screen. I'm going to share arc. All right. 1 sec. Okay, so this is. Oh, I just updated the repo with the link. So
Oh,
just in
thank
case
you.
you just click this icon and you can change it. So there you go. So now we have it there. Thanks for the suggestion. All right, so that's it. We have these two issues now. So the first one is I want to set up a new shopping list. And the other one is, 1 sec, is this one. This is about adding items, right? So let's begin with number 3, number 4, and then we can assign them, right? So number 3. All right, so this is, 1 sec. Okay, so we have a list of items, right? And let's see. Okay, let's see. So we need to have a unique shopping list, right? For each person that uses the application. So we will need to find a way to create a unique token for each list, right? So in this case, you can use this package from our npm user, I guess, workspace, right? So this is, you can just use this package, and there, that gives you a method, right? So you use that method to create a unique string for your list, right? So yeah, generate a new token, save that in local storage, yeah, show the list view, right? Let me see if this is the I read this yesterday. I'm kind of struggling here. 1 sec. The first rendered items in the list associated. Oh yeah, so now we are rendering my test list. I think that is in the app.jsx file. So we need to change this for something unique, right? So yeah, a unique list for each user. All right. So okay, and here's the meat of everything. So if you don't have a token, then this should happen, right? And if you do have a token, you should go to list. So if you open the app, there's nothing there. Like, it's the first time I open the app, this should happen, right? Because I go to list, and then there's nothing there. So I go to the home page, and then there is a button, right, that tells me to create a new list. And then when I create that, I save that in local storage. And we already have a function for it, so you don't have to deal with local storage yourself. So you can use this setlist token, and that should do it, right? And once that token has been created and saved, you can take the user to the list view, right? So let's say that is the first interaction. And the next one, if I reload the page, I already have that token in local storage, so I will be taken to the list page. If I ever delete that token from local storage, or if I open a new browser window in incognito mode, for instance, I wouldn't have that token, so this would happen here, right? Here we have some notes. So this function already exists, as I told you, in this package. And yeah, the setlist token also takes one argument. And this eventually would look like this. Right. But we're not getting there yet. So, all right. So this is linked, obviously, the issue. And you can just have this, you can just have a button, right? You're not required to store this in Firestore, just in case. So if you don't do that, that's fine. If you do that, then that's okay, I guess, but aim for the simple solution first. All right, so yeah, let's move to the next one, then we can ask questions, I guess. And now the next one. So I want to add a new item to my shopping list, right? So these both issues complement each other, basically, right? So I want to be able to add items to my shopping list. So the previous one was to create a new shopping list, and this one is about adding items to the shopping list. And for that, you will need a form, because that's the way you input, you put things into your app, right? So for that, we need a name of the item and an estimate for that item. Like, for instance, I want to buy, I don't know, like soda. So I would buy soda I would need to buy soda soon. So that would be 7 days, kind of soon, 2 weeks, not soon. Like, I drink soda every month, so I should pick not soon, right? Another thing that you have to take into account is that the form has to be accessible. And for it to be accessible, you need to use a label, right? And another thing is that when you are filling the information and you hit the enter key, we should submit that information. That is another thing that comes for free when you create an accessible form, right? So make sure, we have some tips here in the notes. And we also have these data-related tasks. right? Now we have a console log. Yeah, we need to do something about this, and this is already done. This one. Okay. And yeah, so the tips, like to make the form accessible, use label, right? This is the enter key thing that I just said. And all right, I think that's pretty much it. So this is how it would look eventually, right? So yeah, this is how it looks actually. So you write the name. When are you going to need this item that you just added? So X, I want to add buy X every 2 weeks. So I would pick kind of soon. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so let me make this bigger and then split. All right. So, do you have any questions so far? Okay, I think we're good. Please let me see. Okay, the chat is fine. Yeah, I don't take a look. I don't look at the chat just in case. Okay, so we're good. So who wants to work on this? What are the pairs for the week? Again. So, okay, Tiana and Christina. Okay, once the first one. Number 3.
I think you were looking
Okay.
at the pairs for week 1.
Oh,
Tila and I were together last week. It's Marie.
Isn't
Yeah,
this-
week
Tiala
2.
this week.
Week 2.
yeah, Tiana. Oh yeah, I was saying like Tiana is one group and Christina is the other group. Yeah.
But I saw is
Yeah.
Mary raised your hand, unless I
Yeah.
saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that is correct.
Oh yeah, I raised my hand. Tila, how do you feel about between like task 3 or 4?
I don't have a big preference, to be honest. I would take number 3 just to choose.
All
Okay.
right. All right. There you go. This one would be. There you go. All right. Yeah, I think that's it then.
Great. Who's doing the office hour and who will review
Thank you.
co-review?
I'm doing
Okay.
that. I'm doing that. Thanks for
Awesome.
mentioning. Yeah. Okay. So I'm starting a new job this week. So I'm pretty sure I will be available around between 4 and 6 p.m. Central Time. So let me get back to you on Tuesday because I should have my calendar already scheduled for the week. So, but I'm pretty sure by 4 p.m. Central, I will be free. So I will let you know on Tuesday as soon as I can. All right.
Yeah,
And
sounds pretty intense. First week.
yeah, yeah, we should be fine though. Like if I can't make it, like I can do later if I'm busy. But yeah, so for office hours, yeah, we can talk about anything you want. It doesn't have to be projects. So if you want to talk about other things, career, whatever you have, that's what office hours are for. So yeah, okay. So I will let you know on Tuesday because tomorrow is holiday, so I won't be working tomorrow. So that's why I have to wait until Tuesday. But I think Wednesday should be fine or Thursday. So yeah, I will try to be quick. I promise.
Okay,
Sounds
so
good.
you're doing office hours and code review, Alejandra?
Co-review, I believe Danielle.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I can take one. I'm not starting a new job just to help you out.
Yeah, just let us know if you like all of a sudden you find yourself like you're just swamped. Yeah. I know first week can be a little bit crazy. Depends on the company.
Yeah, sometimes it's not too much. It's like, really? This is it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So I
Yeah, let me
have,
know if you need anything. Happy to help.
oh, but okay, so let me see. So according to what I'm seeing here is I have office hours this week and I have issues. And you, Daniel, have code reviews, right?
Oh, okay, cool. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure because I thought I was doing something this week. Okay.
Yeah. It's on the sheet, it says week 0, which means like week 1, week 2, right? I know it's not intuitive.
You can tell a programmer wrote it because it's 0 and 0.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I did complain about it, but oh well. I was like, it's confusing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm code review. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So again, if you have questions, thoughts, suggestions, whatever you have, let us know in the channel.
Yeah.
We'll-
Yeah. Do you feel like you kind of know the process already? Like kind of get a feeling of, so once your PR is done, then kind of tag the peer review, and then once that's done, then tag Danielle for this week. Cool. Awesome, awesome. Great. Yeah, then enjoy the rest of your Sunday then. Enjoy lunch. I know for some of you are lunchtime too, so enjoy lunch.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank
Alrighty.
you.
You too.
Have a good week,
Yeah.
guys.
See you. Bye-bye.
See you all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.